Okay, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today to learn more about our International MA in Jewish Studies and MA in Israel Studies programs. I'm Rachel from the University of Haifa International School, and I'm excited that you've joined us here today. Joining me are Dr. Micha Perry, head of the International Program in Jewish Studies, Dr. Asaf Shamis, head of the International Program in Israel Studies, my colleague Galit Diamond, the Director of Marketing, and two current students in each of the respective programs, Frederick and Margarita. And I will just say that if anyone has any questions, please feel free to write them in the chat and we will address them at the end of the session. And now I'm happy to introduce Ms. Galit Diamant, Marketing Director of the International Master's Programs, who will tell us a bit more about the city and the University of Haifa.
So, hi everybody. It's great having you over here today, and I'm sure you have lots of questions. So before we dive deep into the program that you're interested in, I want to give you a closer look about who we are, and let's start with where we are. So if this is planet Earth, then this little dot is Israel. And it's very, very small. And if I take a closer look, it looks like a small triangle. And although it's much smaller than many other countries and states in the world, it incorporates a magnitude of great things, starting with world-class education, but not only. There are so many reasons to get an education in Israel. There's a reason why we're called the startup nation. A lot of wonderful, groundbreaking inventions were created here, like GPS, like Waze, and other inventions. The culture is fascinating. It's a great place to travel. Imagine that you can start by skiing on the slopes in northern Israel, and within an 8-hour drive, you can visit the sandy desert and the Red Sea beaches. And if we're speaking about seas, I think it's the only small miniature country that has 3 seas. It has the Med, the Red, and the Dead. It's a wonderful place to travel. The historical monuments are outstanding. The food incorporates all the vibrant multicultural inspirations. It's amazing. The people are warm, just like the weather. So if we zoom in a little bit closer in this red triangle, you can find in the northern part, the city of Haifa. It's Israel's 3rd largest city. It's the largest city in northern Haifa, and it's the most diverse city. If we're talking about Israel's diversity, then in Haifa, we incorporate Arabs, Jews, Muslim, Christians, Baha'i, and many, many more. And if we take a closer look into Haifa, then on the top of Mount Carmel, we can find the University of Haifa. And if we take a closer look, this is the University of Haifa. And here you can find the building of the International School. This is exactly where we're all sitting here today and broadcasting for you. So the University of Haifa is a very, very special place to study in. We have 18,000 students attending our bachelor, master's, and PhD degree studies. We have 6 large faculties, including law, education, health and welfare, social studies, humanitarian studies, and more. And the international school itself, if we get a little bit closer, offers 18 different 1 to 2 year English taught study programs in numerous fields, and students from over 90 countries choose to join us year after year. So in a nutshell, this is us. And to give you a little more touch and feel about who we are and what we do, I would like you to see this video.
You want to experience Israel, huh? Well, you didn't hear it from me, but the place to do this is called Haifa. Israel's third largest city, Haifa is definitely its friendliest. A surprising, dynamic metropolis with a sweet, low-key attitude in the middle of some of Israel's most gorgeous scenery. And right at the top, you've got the University of Haifa. If Haifa is the best of Israel, then the university is the best of Haifa. Arabic, Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Druze, Baha'i, beach, mountain, industry, high-tech, academic excellence, and an active student life. It's all right here, all coming together. Just like it will for you as a student at the University of Haifa International School. Here you get a panoramic view, not only of the Galilee and the Mediterranean, but of everything a top academic institution has to offer. Whether you're enjoying one of the University of Haifa's superb English-taught academic programs, delving into the internship and volunteering opportunities, or hanging out with your Israeli dorm mates, you'll be interacting daily with the people who make Israel. There's never been such diversity in a university. Aside from academics, we've got tours, trips, lectures, campus activities, concerts, conferences, sports activities, and that's just the beginning. Here, you'll be who you want to be, because this place lets you be who you are. The University of Haifa is all about you. Best of all, you'll experience it with us, your amazing teaching staff, classmates, full-time social activity coordinators, and new friends from Israel and abroad. University of Haifa. Meet Israel.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Galit. Now, Dr. Micha Perry will tell us a bit more about the Jewish Studies program.
Okay, hello everybody. I'm Micha Perry. I head the program in Jewish Studies. I'm an expert on medieval Jewish and Christian relations. And I want to start with this broad question of why study Jewish studies at all. If you're here, you're obviously interested and you have some background. But just to make a point, Jewish studies is the cradle of Western civilization. And just to take one short story, one example, in the 40s of last century, a Bedouin shepherd walked the desert and started throwing stones into a cave in a place called Qumran, north of the Dead Sea. And all of a sudden it hit something. He heard something cracking. And when they climbed in, they discovered ancient scrolls over there. These scrolls today are known as the Dead Sea Scrolls, or the Scrolls of Qumran. And apparently they come from the time of Jesus Christ, from the 1st century, before and after the Common Era. And they made waves all around the world. This is the most important find ever. And the reason they're so important is because they give light about what happened between the Bible and today, how Christianity emerged, how Judaism started, and how Western civilization as we know it actually nascent in this place. Today at the University of Haifa, we lead an amazing research of digitalizing these scrolls and using digital humanities in order to decipher them. And every day we're learning something new. So if you want to understand the culture, the history of ancient Judaism up to modern Judaism, this is the place for you. We try to give our students all the tools needed so they could conduct their own research. If you want to pursue a career in academia or education, Jewish community organizations, if you lead communities, religious one, Jewish, Christian, or Muslims, this is definitely the place for you. At the University of Haifa, we try to bring you the best faculty we have. Our program is multidisciplinary, meaning we attack Jewish history from several angles, from history, folklore, archaeology, and different resources. We have here labs, digital humanity labs, and others, and we try to locate our program within the local atmosphere. We'll sit at the entrance to the Galilee, where Jesus walked, and the idea of our program is trying to link together the local and the global. So what did Jews in Europe do? What did Jews in Saudi Arabia do? And how that related to Jews sitting here in the land of Israel. The advantage of sitting in Israel and studying Jewish history is immense. You don't only learn about these, but you actually experience it. Coming up will be the holiday of Purim, and all the class will go together to hear the Megillah in synagogues. Everybody is aware, as Frederick will tell you soon, about the Jewish holidays. You can't escape it. Yom Kippur, everything is closed. Saturdays, everything is closed. So you have a chance to experience how Jewish life and Jewish culture are actually practiced in the Holy Land. We try to take our students on explorations, on excursions, to see the sites and places where all this took place. The University of Haifa brings you together with students from an Arabic background, students from China, from Africa, from Europe, from all around. We encourage our students to learn Hebrew. This is not part of our program, but we think that the best thing that one could have after spending a year in Israel is not only Jewish studies and Jewish history, but acquaintance with modern Hebrew. This is a tool that would take you a long way in any career you will choose in the future. We do give grants and scholarships. We try to help our students as much as possible. And every student that registered to the program is worthy of a grant from us, a scholarship. The sums change from one year to another according to budgets and registration and etc. The unique of our program is that it gives you a wide spread of Jewish history and culture. We try to cover from biblical studies, including the Dead Sea Scrolls, ancient Judaism and medieval Judaism, but not only history, but also Jewish thought, whether it's Jewish philosophy or mysticism, Hasidism, or Kabbalah. We have experts for all of these topics, and I think one of the best advantages that we could offer is a close connection with the professors. We try to make sure that you finish this program with the certificate you deserve. The program covers 9 courses, 2 seminar papers, and 1 final exam. This is a doable project that could be done and accomplished within 1 year. So if you are interested, curious about Jewish history, this is definitely the place for you. If you want to continue to grad school and conduct in-depth research, we will help you and assist you. Just from last year's cohorts, we have now 2 students who are completing their PhDs in Turkey, 2 other students who are applying to grad schools in the US, including Harvard and Yale. One is continuing at Oxford to write another master, and 2 students, one from Morocco, one from Hungary, who have stayed with us to write their master thesis here and eventually will continue to a PhD. So all these open you ventures to a career anywhere, and life in Haifa is amazing. The students will tell you about a meal we had in a Druze village, meeting the people there, and just enjoying time together, professors and students from all around. If you have any question, this is my email. I'll take a moment so you could take a photograph of the screen. Feel free to approach me, to write me an email with any question you might have. I could stay longer here to answer your questions and gather them. This is the best advantage you could have. We are here for you. We want your success. We believe in your success. We will do everything that in our power that you will study and that you will learn and that you finish with a certificate of a master's degree in Jewish history. So who is wise? One who learns from all. This means that I am here also to learn from you. And every year from every students, I learn. Students from China, from Indonesia, from Italy. It's a wonderful experience to be able to teach in this program. And I'm full of gratitude for you students who come here and voyage in this really difficult adventure of leaving your houses, your homes, and coming for a year in a foreign language, in a foreign state. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Perry, for sharing more about the program. And now I will turn it over to Frederick, who is a current student in the program and will tell us a bit about his experience.
Hello, everyone. My name is Frederick. I am so proud to be the first student from Indonesia. I am a Jewish studies student. I came to Israel in August in 2022. I studied Hebrew in Ulpan. We call it Kita Aleph, or a beginner class, because I had no background at all about Hebrew. But after I finished Ulpan, my Hebrew improved. I choose the University of Haifa because Israel is the best place to learn about the Jewish studies. As Dr. Micha said, I want to learn more about Israel, about Jewish history, Jewish culture, and even the Hebrew Bible. I also take classes from the Israel Studies Department to enrich my knowledge. We experience Jewish feasts like Yom Kippur, where everything is closed, no car allowed. And another example, like during Sukkot, we can see people are building a hut. We can feel a joyful vibe. I choose University of Haifa because it's a campus with the best panorama in Israel, and the view from the library is so beautiful. That's why students are excited to study in the library. Haifa itself is a multicultural city. We can see a lot of Jews, Arabs, Druze, immigrants live together peacefully in the city, as we saw in the video. At the University of Haifa, I meet people from all over the world. So I am able to learn a lot of new cultures from my international friends. The university also organizes a lot of social activities. Israel has a lot of good places to visit. So in my spare time, I really like traveling. The city of Haifa itself has very beautiful beaches and mountains. And also the local foods here are amazing. I love falafel, shawarma, kanafe. So please come, and we are happy to welcome you to be part of the University of Haifa. Thank you.
Thank you, Frederick. Thank you so much. We're also very happy that you're our first student from Indonesia here, and hopefully we will see more students from your home country here in the future as well.
We have another one lined up for next year.
Oh, okay, great. Yes, I know we've started seeing a lot of interest from there recently. So, okay. So thank you both for sharing with us. And now I will turn it over to Dr. Asaf Shamis, who will tell us about the Israel Studies program.
So hello, everyone. Just a minute. Okay. So it's great to see you all. Can't see you, but I see that you're present, and it's great to be here. I'm Dr. Asaf Shamis, and I'm the head of the International Master's Program in Israel Studies. As I was preparing for today, it struck me how fortunate I am to have this job. Every day I get to meet students from all over the world. I get to research and teach innovative, even at times mind-bending ideas from multiple fields of study. And all of them are related to the study of Israel. And I get to do all this in the most beautiful and scenic campus in Israel. But we're gathered here today not to talk about me, but to talk about you and why study with us at the Israel Studies program at the University of Haifa. If I had to formulate one sentence to describe our program, I would generally be at loss of words. However, that sentence would probably include three main things. I would emphasize the multidisciplinary nature of our program. I would also stress the personalized nature and the personalized approach we have for students and the opportunity students get to for on-foot explorations of our beautiful country. So first, students in our program, do not only study about Israel. We are called the Israel Studies Program, but for us, Israel is a platform or a framework for which students receive training and knowledge in a variety of fields. Our students study history. Our students study international relations, political science, foreign policy, religious studies, sociology. We are fortunate to be in a country that really combines all of these topics. And Israel is for us a platform through which we teach the basic skills and the basic concepts and the broader education that really combines all these fields. Our faculty is the most diverse on campus. Our teachers come from multiple fields and they all bring to the class their distinctive training. The diverse background of our teachers allow us to provide a rich and cross-disciplinary curriculum. In our program, you'll get a kaleidoscopic view of Israel, of its history, of its culture, and of its politics. Now, the very diverse nature of our curriculum is backed by our principal pedagogical approach that asks what students wish to study. Once admitted to the programs, students would sit with me and we build together a customized schedule based on each student's training and interest. So some students focus on history, some on policy, some on religion, some on geology or geography. It really depends on what you would like to be focused on when you come to Israel. We offer a tailor-made program that really fits to every one of our students. Lastly, we believe that graduate school is not only about accumulation of information, but it's about acquiring knowledge. Now, to acquire knowledge, you must go out of the classroom. The program includes field trips to some of Israel's iconic landmarks that will allow students or allowing students not only to study about Israel, but to experience Israel. Every year we get to visit different sites, the old city of Jerusalem, the Baha'i Gardens in Haifa, the old city of Acre, the Jaffa Harbor. We believe that only real experience of Israel, only with this real experience comes true knowledge of the country. Now, as to the structure of a program, so the program is built so you would finish your master's degree in 1 year. This year includes 3 semesters. Each semester is around 3 months. The year begins in October and ends at September, more or less. You will have to take 36 credits. Out of these 36 credits, you'll have to take 4 courses, mandatory courses, core courses on Israeli politics, Israeli society, religion and state in Israel, ancient Israel, and the rest of the elective courses, as I mentioned, you choose according to your interest. At the end of the program, there is a final exam. And of course, there's always the option of moving into the research track. Then you don't take a final exam. You actually write a research proposal and then proceed to write a master thesis. And this, of course, requires an additional year. I'll be happy to elaborate about that. So I began by saying how fortunate I am, but I think our students are as fortunate as I am. If you're curious about Israel, if you're motivated to study and research, if you're open-minded, if you want to meet new people from all over the world, if you like field trips, so please consider joining us at the Israel Studies Department. My email and my contacts are found on the program website. I'll also be staying here, so I'll be happy to either chat now or correspond to you if you have any specific questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shamis. I can also add your contact information in the chat here. In the meantime, I'm happy to introduce Margarita, who is a current student in the program, who will tell us a bit more about her experience.
Hi, everyone. My name is Margherita. I am from Italy, and I'm currently in Haifa studying for my major in Israel studies. In my bachelor back in Italy, I studied in the same field of studies. I did study Hebrew and Arabic language, including literature, general history of Middle East, religion and society. But I finally had the chance to travel to Israel only after COVID. And I got here last August, 2022, for the Hebrew Ulpan. And then in October, I started the master in Israel studies. I should say that the reasons for which I chose this master are different, but mainly 2. The first is that I wanted to see the country. I really wanted to experience Israel, not only by books, as I used to do before coming here, but living here and practice the languages. And also I wanted to major in this field of studies, so Jewish studies, Israel studies, as a continue of my bachelor's. So I guess that these reasons combined brought me here just in a very natural way. And I'm very excited. I should also say that I specifically choose this master in Haifa because I've heard before coming here from other sources that the city was great, which it is really, because I think it's a vivid reflection of the multi-ethnic society of Israel. And it's also not so, I should say, crowded and maybe difficult as maybe could be in Jerusalem or Tel Aviv. So it is really, really a great opportunity to be here, and I really invite you all to come and join us. Also, the living experience in Haifa is great, both if you live in the city, as me, or you live in the dorms here on campus. Both the city and the University of Haifa have so much to offer, and the international school brings students from all over the world, as our said. And the staff, the academic staff, international school, they're just so kind and available for any kind of needs or problem you have, from scholarship to housing or whatever kind of need. They are always there. The professors and teachers are really best. And I may have just one thing to say about the master in general that maybe can be useful to someone who's interested in. I have the feeling that is at the same time, very broad and specific at the same time, which means that it really suits to everyone, whoever, if everyone has a background in this field or not, it really suits everyone, because the courses are really built for filling any interested. And for example, as Asaf was explaining about how to build our program, our choice of the courses, I had the chance, for example, to start studying Yiddish, which I hadn't had the chance to do it so in Italy. And when I found out that I had the chance to do it here, I just took this chance. And so for the first time, finally, I'm taking Yiddish classes, which is just great. And yes, if you want, I can share also my contacts. It maybe can be useful to students who want to ask anything else. I mean, there are a lot of things to say about the master and how is it living in Haifa. So if I can be helpful, I can leave my contact if you want.
Thanks, Margarita. Yeah, you can feel free to put your email address in the chat if you'd like, but now we will open the floor for everyone to ask their questions as well. We do have some that were already written in the chat previously, so we'll review them, but everyone tuning in, please feel free to send us your questions. Now is the time. I see that this is one for Dr. Perry. Nadine from Switzerland, comes from a different background.
I just answered it. I just answered, so it disappeared to you. She asked that she's coming from a different background. She doesn't have any background in Jewish studies, and she saw that we sometimes demand an exam or classes. So I wrote to her that we accept students without a background in Jewish studies or even in the humanities, but in those cases, in any case, we interview all our candidates, and then we see how far they are in general knowledge or not, and we try to meet their needs. We might assign reading, so a general book in Jewish history or something like that, but no exam or extra classes.
Thank you so much. I have another question that I'll direct to you, actually, Dr. Perry. I see that Subhash said that he has applied already for the Israel Studies program, but he's interested also in biblical study and theological courses. Maybe you can talk a bit about how courses are shared a bit amongst your programs, and there's an opportunity for students to enjoy both programs.
Sure. So it's not by coincidence that we're having this webinar together, Jewish Studies and Israel Studies. These two programs work very closely in tandem, because many times you might say that the broad division between us is that we're more historical and we work about Judaism in the diaspora as well, and Israel Studies, as Asaf will say, is more modern, Israeli society and time. But students are interested in both. Sometimes, you come to live in Israel, you want to learn about Israeli society and about different trends within Israeli society, but you're also interested in Jewish history and the background of how all this become. So we share forces. All our classes are shared, meaning you could pick classes from Asaf's program or from my program, and you could build your own program accordingly. And we encourage students, go with your heart. Israel Studies or Jewish Studies, what suits you best. So even if you're in Israel Studies, you still can take classes with Jewish Studies, which deal with biblical studies, Dead Sea Scrolls, Jews in antiquity, and Jews in medieval times, the early modern time, or questions of theology, Jewish thought, philosophy, mysticism, Kabbalah, etc. If this is your main interest, you're welcome to to come and dig in depth with us. But even if you take the Israel Studies and you're interested in modern Israel, you still have a chance to take classes with us on those topics.
Perhaps I'll just also add to this that I really think that Jewish studies and Israel studies are complementary. You cannot really understand contemporary Israel and contemporary Israeli society or politics without understanding the history, and vice versa. You cannot understand the importance of the Dead Sea Scrolls without understanding what's going on in Israel today. So in that respect, I think that our two programs really provides you with both the historical knowledge and the knowledge of present-day Israel that are necessary to understand Israel historically and in present times.
Wonderful. Thank you both for that answer. We have some question here if we have Israeli students in the programs and if there are mature students in the program. So I will just say that the programs are open to everyone, both international students and local Israeli students. And there is no age limit for learning and education. So all students of whichever background they come from are welcome to apply and learn here.
Sure. I'll just say about that. So first of all, we have Israeli students, and our goal is to have more Israeli students next year. We're actually working on a plan of how to increase the number of Israeli students. There is an interest by Israeli students to learn in English-speaking programs, and we really want to try to encourage Israeli students to join our programs. This year, we actually didn't have Israeli students, but last year we had two or three. And I think the meeting and the between Israeli students and students coming from all over the world is great. It's great for Israeli students, and it's great for the international students. As of age, some of our best students are well over 50. We have, as long as you have the time, the intellectual capacity, and the ability to come to Israel, we welcome students from all ages.
Thank you very, very much. I'll ask our viewers if anyone else has any additional questions at this time. Now is your opportunity to ask questions to Dr. Perry, Dr. Shamis, Frederick, and Margarita, who are here with us today. How many years of the master's study? So our programs are 1 year programs, 1 calendar year, fall, spring, and summer semesters. And that is if you are taking a non-thesis track. If you are interested in writing a master's thesis, it's usually 1 additional year, but up to 2 years. Okay, so if there are no more questions, I would like to thank Dr. Perry, Dr. Shamis, Frederick, Margarita, and Galit for taking the time to discuss these programs with us. I have sent some links in the chat for contact details and also information how to start your application. I would encourage you all to get your application in as soon as possible. We're running a special until January 15th, next Sunday, 1 week from today, where you'll receive 85% off the application fee if you submit your application by then. And I thank you all for tuning in today to learn more, and we hope to see you in Haifa this fall. Thank you so much.
Thank you.